All right, welcome back to WMMA Now with your host Chuck Stevenson, coming at you with a UFC fight announcement. So the Ultimate Fighting Championship has booked a strawweight bout between 7th-ranked Mackenzie Dern and 10th-ranked Lupita Godinez. That's going to go down at UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov, scheduled for August 3rd in Abu Dhabi in the UAE. This is an interesting bout here in the strawweight division because you have two fighters who have somewhat similar styles in that they both use their striking purely to close the distance or almost purely to close the distance, and then try from there work for the takedown and to work on some groundwork. Now, Godinez is more of a ground and pound heavy fighter, whereas Dern is more of a just straight grappling, looking for the submission style fighter, but very similar in how they go about or how they get to where they want to be in the fight. So this should get interesting. It's in August in Abu Dhabi. Anyway, let's look at the stats on this one. Dern comes in at 13-5, Lupi at 12-4. Both are coming in off of recent losses. Now, Dern last won a fight a year ago against Angela Hill. That's a pretty controversial fight, too. Since then, she lost via knockout to Jessica Andrade and then dropped a decision to Amanda Lemos 3 months ago. Lupi coming in off of a decision loss to Verna Jandiroba. Before that, she was coming in off of a split decision win over Tabitha Ricci 6 months ago. Godinez is the younger fighter at 30-31, so not a huge difference there. Dern is slightly taller at 5'4", 163 centimeters to 5'2", 157 centimeters for Godinez, and she has the reach advantage to match as well. 63 inches, 160 centimeters to 61 inches, 155 centimeters. So as I was saying, both of these fighters go about fighting in a somewhat similar manner. In that they use their striking to close the distance, usually to the clinch. From there, they go for a takedown, and then from there, they work on the ground. Now, how they go about their way of doing it is very different. Godinez, her striking is definitely a lot cleaner than Dern's, and she definitely has a lot better footwork. And I would say when she goes for the takedowns, it's a lot, cleaner than when Dern does it. Dern, her striking is sloppy, but much heavier handed than Godinez. And usually when her takedowns consist of either trying to trip someone or drag them down. And then, of course, once they get their opponents to the ground, Dern could definitely afford to use a lot more ground and pound than she does, whereas Lupi is more ground and pound heavy. So, somewhat similar styles, or somewhat, let me rephrase that. Less of a similar style, but the process is basically the same or close enough. As for who can get it done better here, I'd say it's a toss-up. I mean, yeah, Dern hasn't been winning as much lately. I mean, she's lost 3 of her last 4. But man, she's losing to top fighters, like 3 top 5 fighters? Or fighters that are all close to the top 5. Lupi coming off that loss of Jandiroba. Jandiroba is very close to a title shot as well. Or getting close, but not up there with like Jan or Andrade or Lemos. So this should be a good one. Who else does some? I would say Dern's wins have been better lately than Godinez, but Dern also got into the UFC a lot earlier and got pushed really got pushed up the rankings faster than Godinez has, for certain. But I mean, look at the last five here. Look at their last 5 fights on Tapology. Dern has lost 3 of the last 5, whereas Godinez has won 4 of her last 5. So, aside from that one recent loss, Godinez definitely has more momentum going, whereas Dern is more just trying to stop some downward momentum at this point. Like, she's headed like downhill a certain way, whereas Godinez is about to reach that peak. So, yeah, this should be a good fight. Like I said, it goes down August 3rd. It's a fight night in Abu Dhabi, which means it'll be like on in the middle of the day in the U.S. because for some reason, if it comes to a UK event, they'll put it on in the middle of the night local time, so it's on a good time, prime time for the U.S. But if it's freaking Abu Dhabi, oh, suddenly they got to have it on the middle of the day in the U.S. Whatever. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the fight. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked the vid, please hit that thumbs up button. While you're at it, go subscribe to WMAC Now, the best, most complete women's mixed martial arts dedicated platform online. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.